In this unit, we're going to study the coordinate plane. The coordinate plane is a plane divided into 4 regions used for graphing. In other words, if we take a sheet of paper divided into 4 parts, that's a coordinate plane. And the way we label it is that we call this a quadrant. Quad means 4, right? So the upper right corner is the first quadrant. Then we go counterclockwise, second and third quadrant. And then here is the fourth quadrant. We always use Roman numbers to denote the quadrants. It's just habit. And the center, which is right here where these 2 lines intersect, is called the origin, and that's 0, 0. The horizontal line is called the x-axis. And then the vertical line is called the y-axis. You've seen this before, so it's not foreign, right? But another thought is that up till this point, what you've been dealing with is mostly, if I graph it on, it's a numbered line and a horizontal numbered line. So what this does is that we put a vertical numbered line on top, make sure that it's vertical. And then this point is 0, 0. And then we call this x-axis, we call that y-axis. And this way, anywhere I have a point, I have an associated, I drop down, I have an x value, and I draw a vertical line there, and I have a y value. So it makes us, it makes it navigation a lot easier. And in addition to everything else in life. So I already gave you a concept of what an ordered pair is. It's a point, we label it X and Y on a graph. We always start with a graph. So let's practice some of this. We have point A, which is right here. Like I said, you start from the origin. On the x-axis, you count 1, 2, 3, -3, right? And then from there, you count up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count up. And obviously, this is the second quadrant. I should have labeled the quadrants. So that's the second quadrant. I'll do one more example. I'll do C. If you look at C, I'll use red. So again, I start with the origin. I can't move. If I cannot move, I'm 0. In fact, all the x values for any points on the y, the x value is always 0. And then from there, I move up by 2. So that's +2. In this case, I'm sorry, this is C, not B. In this case, this is not in any quadrant. This is on the y-axis. Same thing for the point F. That would be on the x-axis, but I'll leave that with you to figure out what the values are, okay? Pause the video, finish this table before you move on. Now, a very quick side note, a graph of distinct points, meaning a graph that looks like this. That's called a discrete graph. But when a graph has curves, that whether it's a straight line is a special curve, right? Or algebra 2, you're going to study something like that. In calculus, you're going to probably study something like this. So that's called a continuous graph. So now, let's go back to ordered pairs. When we have a set of ordered pairs, we have something called relations. A set of ordered pairs. So it's really like stating the obvious, right? If you have 2 things, obviously there's a relation between the 2 things. If I have an X and a Y, there's a relation there. But the set of all the X values is called domains. and the set of all the y values is called range. Again, this is a review. Remember, the way I remember it is in the alphabet, X comes before Y and D comes before R. So X is for domains, Y is for range. That's how I remember it. And whenever we have order pairs, there are 4 different ways to express them. We can express them algebraically or numerically by writing them out, or in a table, or we can map it, and or we can graph it. Okay, so let's look at the numerically. The domain, I said we use a little squiggly thing. It's all the x values, -3, -2, 1, 3, -3. The range is all the y values. That's how you write range. The little squiggly thing requires a little bit of practice, okay? And then for tables, it's the same thing. You can write all the x values vertically like that. Most often, people write it xy, xy, 1, 2, 3, -4, -3, and 5. You just write it out like, as you read it out. So that's pretty simple as well. Now, mapping. With mapping, what I do is I do write out in the same way as the table. I write the all the domains, all the x values in one, and so this is all of my x values, and this is all of my I cannot talk, y values, not y values. That would be -4, 0, 1, 2, 5. Note that I wrote them from the smallest to the largest in both the domain and the range. And then I'm going to pair it. So -3, 1. I use a line like that. -3, 1. Add an arrow to it. -2, 0. Right here. 1, 2. 1, 2. Right here. And 3, -4. And now -3 and 5. So you just, line up the numbers from the smallest to the largest in the domain and then in the range bracket, and then put an arrow next to each pair. Okay, now let's do it on the coordinate plane. So -3, 1. So -3, I start from the origin. 1, 2, 3. That's -3. Then I do 1. That's my first point. Okay. When you finish, you erase all the things that you don't need so that it becomes more accurate. It's really important. Now, -2, 0. Start with origin. -2, 0 is right here. Right? The 0 means that you don't move the point. So again, erase what you don't need. Number 3 is 1 and 2. So start from origin. 1 is here and go up by 2. Positive. So erase what you don't need. So on and so forth. So I'm going to do a little bit quicker. 3, -4 is here. And -3 and 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is here. No, I'm sorry, I'm 1 short. It's 4. So that's it. Okay, not hard, just a review. Pause the video and finish the rest of it. Make sure you verify that with the key. Thanks, guys.